Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're going to explore how to build an absolutely incredibly happy home using some timeless wisdom from a classic piece of writing. If you've ever wondered how families stay together, avoid fighting, and actually enjoy being around each other, well, you're in the right place. Whether you're 10 years old or maybe a grown-up looking for a fresh perspective, we're going to break down these big ideas into something really fun. We're literally going to look at your family exactly like a garden. So let's dive right into this by asking a super simple question. What's the actual secret ingredient that keeps a family smiling and loving each other every single day? Is it having the coolest toys? Going on fancy vacations? Well, actually, the source text we're looking at today tells us that true happiness in a home comes from something much smaller, but way more powerful. It's really all about how we treat each other in those quiet, everyday moments. And the text gives us this brilliant clue by using words like cultivate and nourish. Now, those are totally words that farmers and gardeners use, right? This shows us that a family is exactly like a beautiful garden. Think about a real garden for a second. If you just stare at a patch of dirt, flowers aren't just going to magically appear out of nowhere. A real garden needs seeds, daily water, and careful weeding. Our explainer today compares that directly to the family garden, which needs love, courtesy, and a whole lot of patience to grow. You got to actively take care of it every single day. Let's kick things off with section 1, the family garden, a little world of happiness. Our source text tells us that if family members cultivate their garden well, quote, they would have in themselves a little world of happiness and would not desire to go outside this world for new attractions. So what does that actually mean for you? It means that when your family is treating each other right, your home becomes so fun and so comforting that you literally don't need to constantly seek out outside distractions, like endless video games or trips to the mall, just to feel joy. That joy is already right there in your living room. But, to get that awesome little world of happiness, we have to start by planting the right seeds, which brings us to section 2, planting seeds of kindness. The text points out something pretty fascinating about adults here. It says that even grown-ups, like husbands and wives, your moms and dads, pine for words of love and kindness. Now, to pine means to really, really want or miss something. It means everyone in your house, whether they're 10 years old or 40 years old, desperately needs these good seeds planted daily. Saying I love you or you did a great job today, those are the actual seeds that make your family garden grow. But seeds are just going to dry right up if we don't water them. That leads us to section 3, watering with little courtesies. To really understand our source material, we need to know what courtesy actually means. And it isn't just about stiffly saying please and thank you like a robot. The author calls them little attentions. It's about paying attention and doing small, really kind things for each other. It's, putting your dishes in the sink without being asked, or noticing your sibling looks a bit sad and sharing a toy with them. These thoughtful acts are the water that helps those seeds of love sprout. The author brilliantly sums this up, stating, quote, "It is these little attentions and courtesies which make up the sum of life's happiness." Wow. The author is basically saying that big, giant moments aren't what make us happy. It's the tiny drops of water, helping with chores, holding the door, giving a high five, that actually add up to the biggest secret of a really happy life. Of course, every single garden gets weeds, so let's look at section 4, pulling weeds of impatience. The text warns us about letting a tide of woe and unhappiness ruin the garden. Now that sounds pretty dramatic, right? A tide of woe? But it really does happen when we let the weeds of grumpy, impatient words take over. The author specifically points out words of impatience and fretfulness. And fretfulness is really just an old-fashioned word for complaining and being cranky. When we snap at our parents or yell at our brother, we are basically letting ugly weeds choke out the beautiful flowers we've been trying so hard to grow. So how do we actually pull those weeds? The source tells us we must do our utmost to control our words. First, notice that frustration bubbling up inside you. Second, take a pause before speaking. Literally just close your mouth for 3 seconds. Third, choose a kind word instead. Listen, pulling weeds is hard work, and sometimes it's really, really tough not to yell when you're mad. But pulling those grumpy weeds before they multiply is exactly how you protect your family garden. And when we do that hard work, it absolutely pays off. Let's move to section 5, a blooming, happy home. So, the absolutely crucial point here is that attitudes are totally contagious. The text says that when parents show each other kind regard, quote, the children would partake of the same spirit. The influence would pervade the household. I just love this idea of a ripple effect. When moms and dads act like expert gardeners, that good mood acts like sunshine and spreads directly to the kids.
And hey, it works the other way too. When you, as a kid, show courtesy, it literally warms up the whole house.
All of this effort builds into an ultimate harvest. The text promises some amazing benefits when we tend to our family garden. Hearts are kept tender, meaning we don't get mean and hardened toward each other. There's a generous respect for each other's tastes, meaning, it's totally okay if you like building blocks and your sister likes painting. We respect it. We avoid a tide of misery, and most importantly, love is kept fresh and valuable.
The author reminds us near the end of our text that a family is an investment for life. Just like a prized, rare flower, you don't just plant it and walk away. No way. You have to put in painstaking effort to, quote, retain and keep fresh the love so eagerly sought for and prized. You've got to keep showing up every single day with your watering can of courtesy and your weed-pulling patience. So now that you know the real secret to a happy home, it's time to put on your gardening gloves. What kind of seed are you going to plant in your family garden today? Will you say thank you to whoever cooked dinner? Maybe you'll help a sibling clean up? I want you to think about one small word of kindness or helpful action you can contribute to your family right now. Because remember, your family is your very own little world of happiness, and you have the power to make it bloom beautifully today.